Welcome back to the First Reviews podcast as we continue our coverage of the Slamdance Film Festival. Today, we are joined by animator and filmmaker Cassie Shao to talk about her newest short film titled This is a Story Without a Plan. This is a Story Without a Plan is an animated short film that envisions two characters witnessing a constant explosion in different fragments of their lives. The mesmerizing colors and animation style transport you to the story and the journey that these two characters are on. Cassie, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me today.
Can you introduce yourself a little bit of your backstory, just to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
My name is Cassie. I'm an animator. I currently am based in Los Angeles. I went to school here. I went to grad school here at USC, a cinema school. Before that, I was in New York for a year, and then I went to my undergrad in Chicago, at the Art Institute of Chicago there. And I graduated in 2019 from USC, and I have been freelancing on independent projects, mostly working on music videos and animating for short films, feature films, and explainer videos and stuff like that. And in between these projects, I also go to artist residencies and work on my own films.
Oh, wonderful. Wow, that's great. That's great. Your short film, This is a Story Without a Plan, just premiered at Slamdance. Can you talk a little bit about the the story itself and what inspired you to create this story?
The story, the story was inspired by a past event that made me feel like I was watching an explosion very slowly unfolding in front of me, um, while unable to do anything about it. I wrote this feeling in this piece of writing, which the film originated from. And at the same time, I felt that I had to look at it so it would happen before it would finally pass. Um, if I felt that if I look away, it would just pause there. Um, and this feeling left a great impression on me, and I feel that the state of this event slowly started changing and developing after, as I'm continuously to study and recognize this feeling. Sort of like by observing, you're already intervening and making things change. So this film was meant to record that experience and to finish this thought.
Okay. Wow, that makes a lot of sense because I felt those feelings watching this film. It it just made me feel just this whirlwind of emotions as you understand what these characters are going through, and this world that they're traveling in. And that's just, the beauty of your animation style and the color choices and the sound effects really make you fall into this story. It's a beautiful animation style. Can you tell me a little bit about how you develop this style? Because it's so unique. There's so many elements that make it unique.
The animation style, so I always worked in mixed media ever since I started going to school, but at first, it was because that I didn't want to draw backgrounds. So I had clips of like photos I took or the
Okay.
images, archive images from online, and then so it was like a mixture of hand draw characters with found footage or like found image or something like that. And then after that, when I went to grad school, I started learning 3D. And so I started building some of the elements, mostly things that like tables, furnitures, doors, objects that surrounds them are made in 3D. Then
Okay.
and then when I was working on my thesis film, I added some of the analog medium. So a lot of the backgrounds were painted on paper.
Okay.
So either they are pastel on paper or acrylic painting on paper, and these abstract um shapes, I suppose. So these abstract backgrounds, and I combined them with the 3D objects and the cell animation, the character animation. And then when I go to this film, I wanted, and so I have been developing this style, and I felt that with each new project, I wanted to incorporate something new and see that if I can further develop this style and add something that is unique to this film or this concept, especially. So for this film, the all the explosion, they were on painted on animation cell.
Okay.
Um, so but because of that, I think this animation world is supposedly revolves around this explosion. So it should take on its characteristic,
Characteristics, yeah.
right? So the all the other elements would also because this explosion when and it's painted so it feels to me it feels very soft, sort of like liquid. So all the other elements were sort of like that, and it's shape shifting and flowing a bit, sort of like water. So that's how and all the other the characters are still digitally animated as cell animation in TV Paint, and they are the 3D objects and also the painted backgrounds.
Okay.
But just the yeah.
Wow. Yeah, the style definitely takes on the elements of the explosion, and it feels like so many living entities within different layers of the animation. It's just wild how it all looks like it's alive all at the same time. It makes your eye wander as well. You just constantly want to look at everything because everything is moving. It's just a extremely unique concept. So really well done art
Thank
style.
you.
You've worked on a lot of music videos, a few music videos. Can you talk about the process and how you incorporate your style to a music video, and if there's any differences in creating that versus something for a short film?
A music video, definitely, because it's a collaboration with others. So I do have to hear about their idea. There's two kinds, suppose, of a music video that I worked on. One is that I make the whole music video. So it's still mainly my idea. The I talk to the musician and hear about their idea of the song, how it came about for them and what the song is trying to express. And then I come up with some visuals that to me felt that it expresses the same concept or same idea, like how I would visually express this feeling they're trying to express with the song. And then I make the I also do like just like my independent projects, I also do try to come up with a visual style um that keeps the characteristic of my work, but also that is feasible during for the undoable within their deadlines and
Yes.
time frames, and also that incorporate an element that would be unique to this music video or a combination of different mediums that would be unique to this music video and that would best express this concept. And then there were the other kind where I worked on some where part of the music video is animation and
Okay.
while the rest is live action. And for those you really do have to um come up with a concept that would work for both and there has to be some connections that would there has to be something, some elements that would connect the live action part and the animation part. Usually that could be I could be rotoscoping. Usually there's an actor in the or the musician himself in the live action part. So I might be rotoscoping or have a character that resembles them in the animation part. It's just something or
Okay.
elements that I have to talk about with the director that would connect them both. Usually when uh if it's that format, I do less of the character style because it's so that I usually do because it's much more surreal
Okay.
and it has to be grounded a bit when when you
That
work
makes
on
sense.
there is music. Yeah. So and then there's a lot of back and forth with the director. To me it's still a new experience that I'm not always doing the same thing. And it's fun to do and work on and also it's fun to explore the visual a bit because usually those type of music videos requires a different visual style and I was doing more digital stuff and then that has a bit more processed look and stuff that I was playing with a lot of the effects and After Effects and stuff like that, which also but then helps me with my independent project because that I'm learning these things that I could also add on to my other
Okay.
projects later.
Wonderful. This film is not your first film at Slamdance. You've had films premiere at Slamdance in the past, as well as many other festivals. What has your experience been like being at Slamdance again for another short? And what makes this festival unique?
I think that I feel more prepared this time going in.
Okay,
I
good,
think that
good.
the thing about Slamdance is that they have the filmmakers select the film, which gives an interesting perspective and that differentiates Slamdance from other film festivals and it could result in an interesting and unique selection of films that you might not see anywhere else. So every time I go in, I'm very curious about and excited to see what the selections are. Um, and I'm honored to have been chosen to show here by other filmmakers. And I almost feel like that you're having a conversation with other filmmakers without really meeting each other. I think I met some of them when
Yeah.
I go there, but I don't think I met all of them. And the other thing is that the last time I was showcased within the animation shorts block, but this time I was paired with a feature, and which I suppose I was a little bit nervous going in, not knowing that just because it was a little bit hard to imagine to pair two films that are made by complete oh, and just two films, not more than I think if it's more than two films, it then makes it a bit easier. And if it's one film, that's also so. But it's just two films, and they're made by completely different people. Um, that how well that would, fit together. And so I was a bit nervous about that going in. But watching the film, I definitely felt that even if it was a live action film and it was a feature and it sounded completely different from it was also expressed in a completely different way from my film
Mm,
but I felt that there is a deep connection or something that is familiar to in both films
okay.
to the audience that is a bit deeper down surface despite how different we expressed and how different the mediums are and I when I saw that I felt that the programs perhaps really did consider this they watched the films and through their understanding from their understanding of it they programmed um all these films in like these different blocks successfully because that they saw underneath there's a connection and there's something that we're both talking about in the film, although through different approaches. And that's the main takeaway from my experience.
Are there any other festivals that people can see it at in the future? Or are you working on any of the projects that people can keep in touch with you to see films from yourself at festivals?
Uh, I am submitting to more festivals this year, and the other films, I'm working on a new film, but but because of the animation it takes quite a long time. So, and this film took about 2 to 3 years, um, working on it on and off for me. So the next film perhaps it will be in a year or so,
Okay.
in a year or two. I started working on it. Yeah, it's hard to predict, because depends on if I'm working on other projects as
Of
well.
course.
I will have a music video coming out soon enough, I think. I've done my part, but I'm waiting on the other the live action part. So but that'll be coming out um soon, anytime soon. And yeah.
Cassie, thank you so much for joining me today. I loved your short, and hopefully people can see this at upcoming film festivals.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
You too.